Or it's like, oh, I have to adult today.
You know, taking what I want and going after it and finding the people who I know can help me and going and talking to them and going to ask them like, hey, this is where I want to be in a year, in 2 years. Who do you know that can help me? I thought I'd be like a little queasy, but I was more in awe of like how they do this.
Yeah.
Because he pulled this graft, he's preparing it, and then you just like literally pull it through and screw it in, and that's your new ACL. Honestly, the best part about it is seeing those athletes that are happy once they get back on the field.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Big Man's Cabana podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Lepore, and I'm on with Kayla Staquet again. So I'm sure you guys saw her on Kinesiology with Kayla Staquet. Audio is a little rough. That's on my end. But we have her back on. I know a bunch of you guys loved that podcast. Obviously, it had like 70,000, whatever it was. But we have her back on. I'm going to pick her brain, see what she's thinking. I do have some workouts and stuff like that I've been working on that I'm going to pick her brain on, which she has no idea about yet.
Oh, God.
So we'll do that, but we'll see how you are in school. You're still serving. You're still like working your ass off. And then you start grad school soon, right?
I do.
Oh,
I do. I go back in 2 weeks.
You're a big girl now. the what is it, the adult world?
The big girl world.
You have
I
to
like call
adult
it.
now?
Yeah.
I love how that's a joke between like everyone that's our age.
I know.
Where it's like, oh, I have to adult today. I have to do whatever.
Dude, my dad started talking to me about a retirement account. Like, I started researching Roth IRAs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what the hell?
You didn't start one at Vector?
Why would I have started one with
We made too much fucking money for us to spend.
it? Probably all would have lost. No, I only made like 1K in sales. I really didn't.
No. I thought you were crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was one thing I was glad I did when I was over there. Was like do a tax withholding and then a Roth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's.
No, I wasn't even thinking about it. We were sophomores, freshmen in college. Like, I wasn't thinking about it then.
Well, dude, I bothered John. I bothered like Ben. I bothered everyone. I was like, dude, like, what is this? What does this mean? And then when they played those Ramsey videos, I was like, oh.
I feel like you got more into the business side of that than like the sales side. Like,
Well, I liked it. I love talking to people.
Yeah.
And it was great. And
Yeah.
like, plus, I mean, like, well, so you know what's funny about that?
Mhm.
Oh, totally off tangent. But so they are like an MLM.
Yeah.
But
It's known.
the thing that doesn't make them, why the Better Business Bureau doesn't consider them one is because it is free to join now.
That's right.
They
Like,
used
we
to have
didn't
to
have
pay
to pay for the starter kit.
And when you
Yeah.
were done, you would just give it back. Or you could purchase it if you wanted to.
We give it back.
You didn't give yours?
No, I think I still have mine.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure I still use it as like a dinner knife.
Well, no, I have. I've won a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you have sets and everything.
Yeah,
like,
but
I think I have, I don't know, maybe a few like bits and pieces.
It sounds stupid, but I do think like young kids, if they get a chance, if you get that text, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to do it. I mean, you don't have to like give up your friends and whatever it is. Listen, hear me out, right? Because Gavin, Ben, me, who else was Shirley? There's a big part of us that are like, I would do that again if it happened.
No.
Really?
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Tax evasion. We talked about this last time.
That we did. Oh God.
Maybe if we had like better managers that weren't trying to skirt the IRS.
That's bad, dude. that was really because I remember. I know we talked about this last time, and we talked about this like 1,000 times before. But like, I need you to understand how confused I was. And you're like, I need my tax form. I'm like, did you not get a tax form? Like, that should just be an automatic thing.
I know. I remember texting the guy that like set us up with this, and I was like, "You said your brother did this. Like, what do you do for taxes?" He's like, "No, my brother never did this." I was like, "Then what do you do?" And he's like, "I don't know. You're not helpful."
Well, it is hard because you are considered a contractor, an independent contractor. So everything on the tax end, that's on you. Because when I did my taxes and I got my paperwork, I had a tax withholding, and you had to like physically go through, do write-offs, do every single piece of the 1099.
I will say, like, if kids that you say do get the opportunity, if you're interested in business, I would do it because you do learn that side of it. Yeah. And I will say it also kind of instilled that independence because and that professionalism.
Excuse me.
Because like I remember for the interview, like people showed up for this group interview, and if you weren't dressed in business professional attire, like he said no to you immediately. Like you didn't even get to talk to him. So it did prepare us for entering the business world, the big girl world, like how you say,
the big girl.
for, being ready to show up to an interview prepared and, ready for it.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yes, it would be a good starter job, especially if you did want a business job.
Yeah.
And you want to work your way up and, climb the mountain. But other than that, if you're just looking to make some money for college over the summer,
not the best thing. Yeah.
Everyone else is hiring.
It is so funny how all of us are, because that's how Gavin and I became like really good friends.
I remember. Yeah.
He used to, shameless plug, check out Cedric and Silence. It's a really good podcast. Everything has been blowing up, so I hope you guys enjoy a lot of the things that are coming after that. But him and I thought each of us hated each other.
Really?
So the story is I don't want to get too much because this is about you, but the story goes is there was one girl, we hated him, but I really didn't know why.
Yeah.
And he hated me because he thought I hated him and I was gonna beat him up. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, dude. And he's Norristown, so he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll mess you up, dude.
Yeah.
And we're just in this battle, but we don't even know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I get to Cutco, and I'm like, yo, Gav, and we're just talking. We air everything out, and he goes, you never hated me? I'm like, no, dude, what the fuck? And then I go, you never hated me? And he goes, no, I had no problems for you.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to fight me. I'm like, dude, no.
You fight at the biggest guy in the room.
I'm like,
it's like the prison yard.
Yeah, I'm like, next thing you know, we got food. And he's literally will be in my wedding. He's one of my best friends in my entire life. I love that guy. But yeah.
That's the other thing. We drove 45 minutes to Bluebell.
I know.
Twice a week.
I loved it though. I loved every second.
I can't lie, I did too. I had a playlist.
Yeah.
I had a playlist just for that drive.
There's some playlists you probably should delete.
Shut up.
But regardless, yeah, no, it was good, dude. And someone like you, who's very smart, very stoic, it did seem like a good fit for you for a lot of the time that it was there, because it's business. You know what I'm saying? You were what is the girl boss? You were girl bossing it up.
Yeah.
We're coming in with your suits, but it was a nice thing. It taught you how to dress.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that you had to match your shoes, your belt, things like that.
Yeah.
And you really learned how to
be prepared, show up prepared for something, take the reins, because when you would do the sales pitches at people's houses, for people, you would take the reins on the entire thing. There was no someone standing over your shoulder, coaching through it. It was all you. So you really took control of your own success.
So how do you think this transfers into kinesiology now with going into your grad school?
I definitely took that independence and how do I want to call this? Taking what I want and going after it and finding the people who I know can help me and going and talking to them and going to ask them hey, this is where I want to be in a year, in 2 years. Who do you know that can help me? How do you think you can help me? What resources? Exactly, networking. Because we would go to those conventions. You remember the conventions for Cutco? And we would go and talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you went to at least one.
Two.
Okay. Yeah, and one was in Connecticut. One was in Hartford.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so fucking hammered. I remember that one night, not to get off on a tangent again, but I remember I'm
God.
Gavin, can't we get too drunk? I'm here to talk to one person, and I'm not gonna say who it was in the podcast. But I was like, I love my life. I'm gonna meet her. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I remember seeing videos from your hotel room. You guys went fucking nuts.
What I was talking about. Anyways, but so knowing you probably have a plan, right? So
I do.
You have grad school. Are you looking at different places to start working and going into the real world?
So athletic trainers are starting to expand into different settings.
Sure.
And it's really honestly very cool. We have athletic trainers in performing arts settings, in industrial settings. They're working literally in factories with I have my one friend actually at school now. He used to work with I think Lay's, the potato chip company. And he would get free Lays, obviously. But he was working with the factory workers. And they would take breaks throughout the day and go do, stretching exercises with him or go do, light resistance exercises with him to try and make sure that they're not overworking one part of their body in their position. You know, if like they're standing and they're turning and twisting or something, or just predominantly using one hand, or you know, a bunch of muscles that are taking all the brunt of their work for the day, they go and work the other muscles so they're not imbalanced. They, you know, decrease the chance of chronic injuries, and then it decreases like the workman's comp. So it's really beneficial for industries and companies to employ athletic trainers. And performing arts settings, like their athletic trainers working with ballets and orchestras, and and like Cirque du Soleil, there's an athletic trainer with them, and that looks so cool. Like, I know, right?
Really?
That would be so cool to travel with them. Oh my gosh.
Holy shit. I never would have thought that.
Yeah. Because a big part of our profession is preventative medicine.
Yeah.
And rehabbing like those chronic aches and pains, if they don't need to be seen by a doctor and like, oh, it's just rest. Like, no, like the body's designed to move.
Yeah.
So if we can keep you moving and either, you know, decrease the intensity, decrease the frequency of what you're doing for a little bit and let the injury heal a little bit, and then adjust your performance, or, you know, the number of performances you're doing a week or something like that, you know, it's a great way to like keep the body healing but also moving.
Dude, that's really smart. I mean, even like a business side of the like looking at it, right? Have someone like you work for like Lay's, right? Constantly just, you know, the conveyor belt's going, and they're turning and turning and turning, right? Their body's gonna like eat that.
Yeah.
And instead of going to work, do you have workman's comp? So much money, co-pays. You're paying for the doctor's visit. They have to go get an MRI, an X-ray, whatever it is. So much money. Yeah. But they pay you a really fair salary, and then you're there to be on site. Yeah. That's so much money saved.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
It's extremely beneficial. And, you know, that's why I love that my profession is, you know, constantly expanding. You know, we have athletic trainers. They go on concert tours. I just saw an athletic trainer was with 5 Seconds of Summer. Yeah.
Oh, they should.
That would be sick.
You guys should get into like the metalcore.
The metalcore?
You ever see those guys? I'm actually ironically wearing a metalcore shirt.
The guys that go like jumping around the stage like maniacs.
Yeah, like the mosh pits where people like fight each other.
Ooh, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but like even like the singers who make an exorbitant amount of money, they're literally going like this, flying their hair up and down, playing guitar.
I bet.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I never thought about applying it to things like that.
I saw like a guy's TikTok. He did like a day in the life of being an athletic trainer on tour with them, and they get up in the morning. He does like stretches with them, and they do, you know, same thing with the guitar players or anyone on the band. Like if they're in a stoic position for a long period of the night, he does like different stretches with them, different exercises, just to get the body moving and keep it in a constant state of recovery.
Wow.
And then
smart.
You know, he shows that they get ready for stage what's it called, pre-show, sound check, that's what it's called. And he watches, make sure like no one trips on anything, and then he's there just in case, because you know, you've seen the videos of like artists, they have some sort of medical emergency. I think Jason Aldean just had like heat stroke or something, and ran off because it was like so hot in Hartford at his show. And you know, they're there just in case, but he shows that they get off the stage after the end of the show, and he makes sure that they're all good. They do,
IV
you know, a little cool down.
Yeah. How do you feel about IV drips?
IV drips? I think they're good to restore the electrolytes if you did sweat that much, and you know, I mean, that's very individual. Okay. How much you sweat and how much you're expelling in that sweat, it's very individual. So everyone who says like, oh, like drink a thing of Gatorade, like 1 bottle of Gatorade, for you doing a workout in like a day like today where it's like 85 and the humidity is 80%, you would need like probably 2 to 3, whereas someone like Kevin would need 1 bottle probably.
So what about last night at like work? Just me dying.
Oh my God, you'd probably need like 2 bottles of Gatorade. Yeah. So I do like the fact that they have individuals that are certified to do that, and I don't know their certifications necessarily, but I know that like
I wouldn't know.
You need to have a certification to put an IV in someone.
Yeah.
So obviously like they are medically trained to an extent, so they know what they're doing, and I would assume they take into account, you know, your body weight in kilograms and how much water you had in the previous 24 hours and whatever else goes into consideration. But it's very specific. So I think it's okay, but I don't necessarily think it's like the trend that should be trending when
The
people
IV
are
drips.
like, oh yeah, I got, fucking wasted last night and I'm hungover, I need an IV drip. Like,
I will
no.
say, and it is my idol. I literally have a flag of this man. But
Yeah.
like Joe Rogan, his big things were IV drips, because I did one and I actually didn't really know much about it.
Yeah.
But people were doing it. They had someone there, and we did it after a competition. And I was like,
See, after
this
competition
is
is
amazing.
very smart, yes. But I don't just think it's like, because I was watching Selling Sunset, and they did it after like a night of drinking, and they were
What's
just sitting
Selling
there.
Sunset? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's a Netflix show about like these realtors that are in like, they started in LA, I think,
Okay.
and then they expanded to like California, and it's like the drama TV show, whatever.
Oh, God.
There's like 5 different locations now.
Did you ever see I recently just learned of the show, and I have to admit I went through that like that boy phase with it. It's Married at First Sight or something like that, or 90 Days Married or something like
yeah.
that. And I went through the whole thing of like reality TV with being a guy. It's like, dude, what is this? This is stupid.
Yeah.
Wait, what's happening? Wait, what's happening
you
next?
say?
What's the next? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like annoying fluff you put on in the background when you want something on.
oh, I love reality TV.
Yeah.
I hate that I love it. It's so stupid.
Then I think you'd like it.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. IV drips have always been a question, because I feel like a lot of people that I like lift with, or compete with, we do it at a level where it's like, okay, take prime example. Sundays, I'm there from 9 to 1. I have a bench
Lifting
session
the whole time?
the whole time.
Okay.
I'm gonna have time in between like my bench session and my strongman session.
Yeah.
But like sometimes at the end, like we're dripping. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm like.
Are you constantly replenishing during that? Like, what are you drinking and eating during that? Anything?
Don't get mad at me.
Okay.
I don't usually eat between that time. I don't usually eat when I get up, and I eat when I leave. That's the only problem.
So you get up at 8
Like
and you lift
8:45.
until you're getting there at 9. You lift until 1 and you don't eat until 2?
Yeah,
Matthew.
I know.
That's not
Dude,
good.
You should see my coach when I told him like how much weight I've lost in the past. Like, yeah, he's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I'm
like you're not a wrestler anymore. We're not trying to make weight classes.
Listen, it's fine. I would listen. It's not.
It's not fine.
We're not gonna get it. We're not. Anyways, but what I'm saying is like, so you're saying, if I get hammered, don't do IV drips. But if I have like a rough day like that, I should take some IVs.
I'm not gonna say like don't do it. I just don't think that that's what it should be trending for.
Sure.
Of course, it's gonna trend like that in the cities and where that's like probably Nashville, probably a booming industry for IV drips. But because I think like if you're gonna make that decision to go out and destroy your liver, like also make the decision to take care of yourself after.
It's also true.
Don't just pay someone to stick a needle in your arm and let someone else do it for you. Like, take control of your own health.
Take control of your destiny. Go, you guys.
Carpe diem.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. That's one thing that I've been curious about. So,
because I have wondered if they do that in the NFL and in like NHL and soccer would probably be a huge one, especially after like the World Cup was just in Qatar in literally the desert.
Oh, I didn't. I did
last
not know
year.
this.
Yeah, I wonder if
It's probably really cold
they
there
offered
right now.
that.
So how do you feel about the whole there was a thing that just came out from the UN, and it was we were past the stage of global warming. We are now in the stage of global boiling.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I try not to like trust headlines I see at face value because I know like a lot of them are clickbait or like.
Well, it was a video of the guy saying this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I just saw the headlines, but.
No, you're good. You're good. I saw a lot of headlines too, but it wasn't until I saw the video. I saw it on TikTok, and then I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I need more context. Like, let me watch it. So it was like a 15-minute clip, and I'm like, oh, okay. So there wasn't just clickbait.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not an environmental scientist or anything, but
so I'm also an idiot. So just so you know. I like to preface that because I am stupid a lot of the time, and it's like, well, if I just admit that I'm an idiot now and I say something stupid later, they go, oh, well, he said he was an idiot, so it's fine.
see, you say that, but then at least you're like going out and trying to read about things and like.
Well,
you're
I'll also like
referencing
I'll
things you've
actively
seen.
too like in the video on YouTube.
Mhm.
If I say something wrong, it's happened before.
Yeah.
I will actively, as I'm talking about it, correct myself and then point at myself and go moron.
that's funny, but also like that's intelligent in and of itself.
Yeah,
'Cause at least you're acknowledging your mistake and fixing it with educational knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a while ago when I did the McCamey Manor. I was like, oh, I heard there was 2 people that died. No, it was hearsay. I literally went in and double checked myself, and I literally on the screen I went, this should not happen. These are the facts.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, yeah, good.
Yeah, I mean, I have traveled, and I have been to at least 30 of the 50 states, maybe more. I have seen the world, and I'm starting to explore Europe and everything, and I absolutely love it. And I'm starting to realize and appreciate that it is here, but it could be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't like fix our act, it will be gone.
Yeah.
And I know we have like all of those post-apocalyptic shows and everything. Like that's another one on Netflix, The 100.
Mm-hmm.
You need to watch that if you
I've
haven't.
heard about it.
I
I've
love
seen
that
TikToks
show.
about it.
Yes. But anyways, I genuinely believe that could happen if we don't start becoming more cognizant of what we're doing and the resources that we're either using or wasting.
Yeah.
And how we're just like it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Like that huge trash pile in the Atlantic Ocean or no,
Yeah.
Pacific Ocean.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, not the Atlantic, but it's probably the Pacific. Because I know, like, a lot of the. Oh, yeah, because it's a lot of, like, TikTokers and stuff like that trying to do the cleanup, so it's probably in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like, if you think about it, at the base value, we get our oxygen from trees. If we keep letting them burn, if we keep cutting them down and make space for more, like, developments and cities and whatnot, how are we going to survive?
Well, how about the whole thing with Canada and Jersey?
Exactly.
It literally...
we don't need Jersey. That can just...
Hey!
It's the armpit of the nation.
Hey! I was born in Trenton. You leave me alone.
Is that why you are the way you are?
Oh, wow. Wow, that hurt my feelings. Anyways, we're going to glance past that. But armpit of the world?
I'm not the first one that said that. Actually, Lexi said that.
I have to make a phone call when this podcast is over. But no, my point being is like, look at all those forests that burnt down.
Mm-hmm.
And literally the smoke was traveling from Canada, from Jersey, and it was affecting our...
That was crazy. Number one, that it can travel that far. And number two, like, do you remember going outside with that?
Dude, so Christina and I were here, and I'm walking her out to her car, or maybe we're heading back to her house, whatever it was, doesn't matter. And I was like, oh, I guess someone's having a fire.
I know.
I
it
saw
smells like a campfire.
Yeah, and I saw some people like that had those cars in the, across the street, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm having a fire. Cool, good for them. But it was quiet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's weird. And we get in the car, we drive, and like by the time we got to Norristown, I was like, it's still here.
Yeah.
And then her friend was like, yeah, dude, so there's like forest fires and stuff like that going on. And I'm like,
yeah.
From Canada? Yeah.
And Canada's so sweet. Like, the heck? We can't burn that down.
Did you hear, you know, the prime minister is like, he's a really cool guy?
Really?
Yeah, it's Trudeau.
I don't know.
But, sorry. I'm sorry. I tell that joke and people like don't know who the Prime Minister of Canada is and they don't get the joke and I'm like, I'm just saying it's Trudeau and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like,
this is the product of Trenton, New Jersey, everyone.
Oh my God, no, that was a good joke. Listen, I'm gonna put in fake laughing. No, I'm joking. It's real laughs. Anyways.
You heard that like those overlays are actually like
dead people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're hearing dead people laugh. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. It is kind of cool though, because like, you know, I mean, shows like Friends, shows like, I mean, even the ones that we're using recently, you know.
Huh? Yeah.
Those laugh tracks.
They're probably using the same ones from the entire
easy.
beginning.
I mean, they could also just pull people from the audience because there's still live action show or live shows. Like people like will have like audiences and they'll be there
when they film episodes.
I'm pretty sure that's still a thing. I think.
Go.
Don't quote me on this, but I think Good Luck Charlie was one. I think that was that was a live one. But there was another one. I forget. Fuck. Doesn't matter. But they'll use like their live tracks too. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, there's so much stuff out there.
Yeah.
So, when does your master's program start?
So I go back to school in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I I think we have preseason for 2 weeks that I have to work, and then I believe classes start the 28th, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always started before Labor Day.
I hated that. You come back for a little bit of the silly week, and then it's like
Yeah.
you have like the day or a couple days.
You have a long weekend.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, okay. So after this, what are your master's program's gonna be? What, 2 to 4?
No, it's 2 years.
2 years.
So I graduate
Okay.
in May.
So, where are you looking at working after that?
So we were talking about earlier the other athletic training settings. They are also starting to work in orthopedic surgeons' offices. So literally in ORs with orthopedic surgeons. I think that's really cool. I got the chance to observe one of my athletes' ACL repair in the OR with a surgeon that was, it was a teaching hospital. So he had a resident and I think a PA with him. I could be wrong. But they were all so amazing at teaching. Like, they didn't know me at all, but they made sure that I could see everything that they were doing when they pulled the graft. And then he walked over to a different table and was like, preparing the graft to put it back in. When my athlete was home and he was asking me like, oh, what's the scar from? Like, I could tell him exactly what each scar was. They were showing me everything on the scope cameras and like identifying anatomical landmarks and like, oh, this is or where the ACL was. This is how it's shredded. This is the PCL. It's like, this is so freaking cool. So yeah, like
So
I've
you're
looked
cool
into
with blood and all that kind of stuff then
Yeah.
too? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd be like a little queasy, but I was more in awe of like how they do this.
Yeah.
Because he pulled this graft, he's preparing it, and then you just like literally pull it through and screw it in, and that's your new ACL. And I was like,
How do you prepare a graft?
so he pulled a quad tendon graft. So you take a little section of the quad tendon. Okay. It's about the size of your pinky. So it's pretty big. If you ever seen pictures of like or diagrams of what the ACL actually does look like, it's probably about half that size.
Really?
So they double the size of an ACL when they at least from the quad graft. I haven't seen any other grafts done.
Okay.
So I can't speak to those, but the quad graft that he pulled, because I asked him about it later, and I was like, that was honestly larger than I think I've seen in diagrams in my textbooks. Are they, blown up to scale, or was that something that you chose to do? He goes, oh no, I chose to do that because there's no way he's re-tearing this.
Yeah.
He's like, I am 100, I can't say 100%, but he did say like, I'm very, very confident that he will have a hard time re-tearing this because of how much strength I just put into his new ACL. It's like, that's awesome.
Jeez.
That we can like make it better
Yeah.
than the first time around. So athletic trainers are starting to work with orthopedic surgeons because of what I just did.
Yeah.
So that you can see exactly what happens in their surgery. You can, get an idea of what's happening underneath the skin. I know we talked about last time that you can't always see, the muscle fibers healing, the bone healing, but at least you can see like what it did look like when they went in and fixed it.
That's awesome.
So you can know exactly like, okay, where were their weaknesses? Where were their, where could scar tissue possibly become? And instead of taking guesses and taking images, like you can also see on the screen, like literally what I just said with the scopes and everything. It was so cool. So then I could go back and I could tell him like, yep, this is how your surgery went. And then you can literally work with the surgeon in one ear and athlete in the other. And then you're literally the only link between them. It's not like normally when we send an athlete to a surgeon to have something done, we're emailing with them.
Yeah.
And then, the athlete is the point of contact between us and the surgeon. And we have to ask them like, okay, what did your surgeon say we could do at week 2, week 3? And they give us like paperwork and we have to go off that. If we have questions, we have to call. But when we have athletic trainers working with orthopedic surgeons, you can literally walk down the hall to their office and ask and say, hey, he's now having pain here. Like, how do you want to adjust the protocol? And then go and do it. Okay. So it's like decreasing the amount of communication or like lines of communication taken to help this athlete recover and get back on the field.
That's awesome.
So it's like, making the train have less stops.
No, that makes sense. Plus, I mean, it's got to be rough for you guys where it's like, okay, we athlete's having pain in his knee. He shouldn't be having this here. You have to go talk to the surgeon. The surgeon might not answer. Yeah. Or he has to work on a different protocol.
Yeah.
Instead, you literally can just buck stops here and you guys can just be able to do it.
Exactly.
And I'm sure it's probably really annoying for them too, where it's like you have to constantly take calls from athletic trainers. Yeah. You guys are probably annoyed because it's like now I have to call the surgeons and it's just like a whole like because you guys are busy. You guys are always busy.
Yeah, and they are too. Like they have OR time and then they have their clinic time. So it really does decrease the amount of like miscommunication that could possibly happen, increases their recovery time and the strength of their recovery.
Yeah.
So I've heard that a lot of surgeons, or orthopedic surgeons at least, because we only work with them, are starting to work more with athletic trainers, and we're almost becoming like their PAs. Okay, we don't have the PA certification, and they still have their own PAs.
Yeah.
But we're becoming like another subdivision of that in that sense. Is
Well,
how I've been explained to it when I look into these programs. Because you're getting taught how to scrub in. So you could assist that you get taught how to suture. So
Wow.
you could do like the closing sutures for them if they let you. So I think that's a part of some of the programs I'm looking into, which would be so cool. I know, right? You get taught a lot more about like OR procedures and the different like most common surgeries, more difficult surgeries. You get to observe a lot of them, obviously, and still work with these teams. So you're spending time in the clinic and then also on the sideline. So it's like marrying the two. And I think it's going to be very, very cool.
Oh, dude, if I ever fuck up my knee, bro, I don't know if I trust you to suture me. You're going to start suturing different parts of my body, but he can just shut up.
No!
You close my lips. I'm just joking.
No.
But no, dude, that's awesome.
Dude, Anthony trusted me to tape his ankle, like, at this point.
You taped Anthony's ankle?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I know. It was kind of funny.
How did that go?
I thought it went really well. He's being a baby about it. Like, he's limping around, but
I know.
But he said it felt a lot better after I taped it, so I felt good about my tape job.
You should.
Thank you.
No, dude, that's awesome. And not many people get to do this. This is a very surreal experience. People get to be in OR rooms, check this out, see the scope, get to suture, do all your fun stuff. But it has to be a very rewarding, feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
All your work, everything you've done is like leading you to this point, and you were seeing a lot of the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? That's got to be sick.
Honestly, the best part about it is seeing those athletes that are happy once they get back on the field. Like, I remember getting athletes back onto the baseball field. They're pitching again. They're so happy. I can see the smiles on their faces. I'm like, this is great. Like, I'm helping you, do what you love. So that's all I want. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And dude, not many people have that kind of, like, mindset.
Yeah.
It's like, they're just like, I'm going to do my work, help them out. And maybe it'll be fun on the way, but it's like, you genuinely like doing this. You like helping people, and it's cool because you get to do it on like an actual physical level. You get to like truly see. Because I know like with like mental health and things like that, it's hard to always kind of gauge. Or people like you can see differences, but like you get to physically see a person at their lowest point. Yeah. Tear an ACL, break an arm, break a leg, God forbid.
Yeah.
And then you physically get to help them be better.
Absolutely.
That's gotta be so cool.
It's so rewarding. I love it. I'm only a year in, and I love it. I do. I can't wait. And these programs I'm looking into, like, there's one in Colorado, and I'm looking at pictures, and it's like, it's beautiful.
Gotta go to Red Rocks.
And really?
Yes, go to Red Rocks.
Okay.
If you go,
I'll put it on my list.
Or at least visit it. You have to go. Whether they go hiking or to just see the amphitheater, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. Yeah.
I think I just saw like a concert there, like pictures from a concert. I was like, that looks sick.
Well, we were there. I saw Wiz Khalifa, Joey Badass.
Really?
Action Bronson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
We drove there.
Yeah, I remember seeing, stories and stuff of you guys. Cody said you guys slept in parking lots. Are you nuts? Girls could never.
Yes,
Girls could never.
I understand, but it was a Walmart parking lot.
It's also you and Cody. Like, if anyone ever walked up to the window and was like, "Who's in there?" and saw you two, they'd walk away immediately.
Yeah, maybe. Unless they had a gun.
I wouldn't mess with you.
Gavin would be like, if you had...
exactly. Like, three huge guys. No.
Gavin cracked me up. But he said something that was wild. But, no, it was fine. But, if you ever make it out there, have to go to Red Rocks.
I promise. I'll send you pictures.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I see, like, they have, like, alumni videos and everything talking about this program, and they all go on hikes and everything. They go, because I think they get to work on a mountain, on, like, a ski mountain. So they get to go skiing, too. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, we drove up. We were in the ski area in Colorado.
Yeah.
It was a bit terrifying to get up to this one where we wanted to go, because it went from like 50 degrees. As we're heading to the mountain, it's snowing, and it's like 9. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Could you tell a difference with, like, the altitude?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit, but
Like the air gets to be a little thinner.
I mean, like you would notice, like if you walk up the stairs, you're
Yeah.
like you're like, because when the place we sit, like there were a decent amount of stairs. Like you walk up some and you're just like a little like, huh, like
Yeah.
and then it was really just how that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to go to Red Rocks, and if you don't, then you're just missing out.
I promise.
Where else have you been in the U.S. though? You said 30 states.
Mhm.
Jeez.
So when I was younger, we used to do like 2-week out west trips and go visit a bunch of national parks. So I've been to Nevada, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, Montana, Wyoming. We did go north to South Dakota, but I believe the national park is only in South Dakota that I think we went to.
What's the 4 points?
That is Utah,
Yeah, I don't remember what they are.
Nevada, Arizona, and I think Colorado. Maybe. Can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't know.
I aced my 50 states test. I should know this. My dad always jokes with me. He's like, what did Springford teach you? You know nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I know stuff.
Nick says
We're watching West Wing now, too. And I'm pointing out stuff in, like, the government aspect. Like, they just mentioned, like, censuring the president on the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know what that means.
You should watch House of Cards.
Should I?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You should watch Designated Survivor.
What's that?
It's this fictional show about the Congress gets blown up and like the House of Urban Development Secretary, like the lowest person on the totem pole, is the designated survivor, and he becomes president and like he has to
Yeah. Oh man, that's
he has
right.
to run the country.
Yeah, The Succession.
It's on Netflix.
Okay. Cool, because I just finished, ironically, I just said it, Succession, so I need a new show.
Okay.
Which you should also watch, now that we're just throwing out shows
Yeah.
recommendations, because it has 27 Emmy nominees.
Dang.
It ruined my life. The
Oh.
ending ruined my life. Gavin and I started it for another podcast, Stuttering in Silence, shameless plug. And he goes, when you finish it, call me. Like an hour later, I finish it. I'm like, dude, it ruined my life.
Emotional damage.
Kayla, ruined my life. I'm angry.
Oh. Well, now I gotta figure out why. Is it on Netflix?
HBO.
HBO? Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
But so some of the workouts that I had questions for.
Mhm.
Not that I mean I know how they work, but so have you ever heard of a reverse hack squat?
No.
Oh, fuck.
I'm trying to think of.
Basically, you know what a hack squat is, right?
Remind me.
You're on like it's a squat. You're
Yeah.
on like an inclined plane. You're kind of like locked in, and then you squat down. You come up. It's like a big machine.
Okay.
People like me, like I reverse hack squat almost every time I do it. I will put the band through. So
I have seen these.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people doing that opposed to actual squatting. What do you think?
I do know it has benefits for the knees. I
Yeah.
will say that. And I do know that it is extremely beneficial for someone who's trying to use the front part of their body
Yeah.
a lot more. And for you and strongman, I would definitely say, from what I know about strongman, that would be beneficial for you.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of carriers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I do think that it has some benefits over normal squats.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to say to my athletes that, like, I think you should include this, they might ask, like, why?
Yeah.
If they weren't a football player or, I mean, I could see maybe a tackman on lacrosse teams using it. But going through the rest of my athletes and their positions, I couldn't see it being the most beneficial over normal squats.
Okay.
So.
Now my second one, goblet squats.
What about them?
What do you think?
I think they're great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They're great for control. They're great for maintaining the balance through the ankles, the knees, the hips. So you're building that kinesthetic awareness, making sure that.
Ooh, big word. Big word. Kinesthetic awareness. Ooh. I'm going to use that to tell people that I came up with it.
Yeah, good.
So then, my last one. What would you do to build your core? Not so much like get abs, but like to build your core, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I try to tell people. I'm like, you have to do a lot of these workouts to really kind of like strengthen your core. Like, well,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna get necessarily get abs. I'm like, yeah, like the point is to
Oh
strengthen.
my God,
your
I
core.
have so many for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. List off 3.
I'm blanking on the name. Like, I know how to show them, but
Yeah.
we all athletic trainers have different names for like stuff that
Mhm.
we want our athletes to do. So it's kind of funny when we write rehab sheets and someone else wrote it and you're instructing the athlete through it. You have to go like call them and ask them like, what is this? And then you're like, oh, it's I call it this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but whatever. If you have like a bungee cord, tie it to the wall, and then you're gonna stand parallel to the wall, okay, and with it out in front of you. So you're holding it and you feel the tension trying to pull you this
You're
way,
gonna turn.
but you hold it.
Yeah.
And you can stand on one foot. You can have someone trying to knock you over, like not literally tackling you. Don't let Cody tackle you. But like just kind of, they're called perturbations. You kind of just like push a little bit at them, try and knock them off their balance.
Okay.
But you really need to engage your core in order to stay upright and then resist the tension. So you stand one way and hold it and keep it from pulling you the back towards the wall. And then obviously you turn around and do it the other way so you're even on both sides. What else? I mean, just like daily exercises in order to warm up your core. It's really good to like lay on your back and try and imagine that you're pushing your back down into the table. Not like stucking your stomach in, but pushing your back down and then just holding it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never heard that one.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm learning.
So it's kind of good. Like you can kind of put like either someone's hand or maybe like a rolled up towel underneath the lower part of your back and try and imagine like you're crushing that. So you're really engaging your core. What else? Let's see. Ooh, you know what I love?
What?
I call them hand rollies. Sounds like a really stupid name.
Are those just things you hold like this and you roll?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I do those. Yeah.
That one, and then there's also where you put your feet up on a stool or something that can roll across floor, and you literally just like drag yourself on your hands.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're my favorite. All my athletes hate them, but it's great for your core.
Yeah, people always ask me, they're like, "Yo, like, so what do you do for core work?" And I don't really do anything crazy. I just do simple stuff. And the biggest thing for me, honestly, is like the reverse hyper. It's not so much core too, but I mean, that's one of the best machines I've ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The reverse hyper.
I actually don't.
It's Louis Simmons made it. It's the I love this thing.
Yeah.
So I have homework for you.
Okay.
One of the best machines that has ever existed into the lifting world. Anyone who's a big powerlifter knows this, strongman, whatever it is. There's a big. Have you been to the gym in Tan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that big table thing that we have with with those little like post things for your hands. So you lay on it, right?
Yeah.
Connect your feet into the little rope, and then you put weight on the bottom, and you literally kick your legs up.
Yeah.
So it's working your hamstrings, your lower back, and your core.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
Louis Simmons did it. He created it. He broke his L4 and L5. I think it was like 8 months later.
Put too much weight on?
What?
Put too much weight on?
Yeah, his body just succumbed to the weight.
Oh my God.
2 months later, I think he broke a record 8 months later, he broke a record for squatting. He literally repaired his back.
He healed a back fracture in 8 months.
Something like that, yeah. Maybe it was
It was back to the same
Maybe
level of
I have
squatting?
the timeline messed up, but yeah. It was so good that Rogue and Elite FTS made their own and bought the product.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there once. Remember you supposed to come spot me on a squat and you guys showed up late? Like an hour late? Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, my bad, dude.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
Can't even show up on time for a lift.
Dude, yo, it's been bad lately. I'm like, yo, dude, usually we get there like 9, or like 8:30, 9:30. Dude, I got there at like 8:15 the other day, or 10:15 the other day. I was like, fuck. Fuck. Christine's like calling me. She's like, dude, get up. I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah. Ooh, another one I just thought of. So you can either do this like a normal push-up position or the girl push-ups like they call them with your knees down.
Sexist. Sorry, I'm just joking. I was making a joke, but I forgot the word like on.
That's what my athletes call them. When I tell my baseball players to do this, they're like, those are
That's
girl
what I
push-ups.
call them too, but I was just
Yeah,
making a
I know.
joke.
I mean,
you're good.
Whatever. Anyway, so you can pull like a kettlebell and just any weight You know what I'm
Daphne
talking
showed
about?
me that. I know exactly what you're talking. I don't know if you know who Daphne is.
I don't.
She used to work at Max Out.
Okay.
But okay, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, you'd pull it from underneath you and just move it from side to side.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could.
Hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
To stay straight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Mhm.
I remember like I was watching someone do it. I'm like, yo, Daphne, like, what is that? Like, was that core work? She goes, yeah. So she goes, try it. I'm pulling it through. She goes, honestly, a lot better than I thought you were gonna do. You have to stay straight. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, don't
move your
fucking
hips.
move your body. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. And I did it. I'm like, oh, significantly harder. She goes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I keep doing it. I'm like, oh god. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, you're just like a big ball of like insight.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I like to read.
Yes. Did you ever? One recommendation I was given a while ago was The Fourth Turning.
You've told me about this.
You
I think I downloaded the sample on my Kindle.
You gotta read it.
I started reading it, and then I don't know. I think I got busy. Yeah.
There was one that I was recommended on from one of my buddies from the gym. It was like Fear Under God or like The Love Under God or whatever it was. And apparently it's supposed to, like, I didn't realize how big of a book it was. Apparently it's supposed to be really good for people who like, like have certain views and not like right or left, but like like godly views and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one.
Okay.
But anyways, we're just on recommendations. I'm being an asshole. Now, let's talk about a 5-year plan.
Mhm.
In 5 years, I invite you back on. We're in a massive studio, right? Where do you want to be?
As of right now, I don't know. I definitely see a lot of value in that orthopedic setting with the orthopedic surgeons. So I definitely would find it very, very cool to still be working in that setting. I definitely, I have a goal, though. You know how we're hosting the 2028 Olympics in LA? I would love to volunteer and work that either with an organization or just as a volunteer. I would be mind blown to just be there on the floor as a medical provider to any extent. I want to be there.
You should do it.
Yeah.
You know what you should
It's my short-term goal right now. It's what my focus is on right now.
You should put it up on your door.
I was going to put it on my mirror.
But do it on both.
Yeah.
So when you see it when you get up.
Yeah.
And then as you're walking out your door to do your day, it's like you walk that threshold. I'm no longer in my room. My day started.
Yeah.
You see it.
Mhm.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
You should do that.
I will.
Set that goal. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see those pictures, dude. I'd be so proud of you.
Thank you.
That'd be so fucking sick, dude. You should definitely do that.
I definitely
Go
want to.
home. Once we're done, print something out. Put
Yeah.
it on your door. Put it on your mirror.
Yeah.
That should be a big goal. That because you seem excited about that, and I want to see you do that. You should
Thank
fucking
you.
do that, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. That would be insane. Because we haven't hosted an Olympics here since Atlanta. Oh my God. Is it 2004? It was another Summer Olympics. So I think it was 2004. If I'm wrong, make me a moron.
I'll look it up. I don't know, so I'm not even gonna talk because
I know it was Atlanta. I just cannot remember the year. But yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That'd be so cool. That'd be actually sick to see you do that.
Right. I'm so excited.
Oh, dude, could you imagine? Everyone's talking about, yeah, dude. So this summer I did this. This summer I did this.
Yeah.
I was at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that'd be so cool.
That'd be insane.
So this is something that you're really interested in, dude. This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Thank you.
Dude, I learn every time you're on, especially when you're around. I just learn anyways because I'm just gonna pick your brain. Oh, dude, it's great. It's like my own wiki page, but in real life.
Yeah. On Wikipedia.
How does this work? No.
No.
Do it this way. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's great, dude. But
Yeah, I'm such a nerd. I actually I just had to drop a class and replace it with another one for my fall semester, and I emailed the professor that I was dropping the class for, and I said, if you have the syllabus, because I'm debating on which class I want to have on my docket. If you have the syllabus, I'd really appreciate it. And she sent it to me, and it has the textbook on it. And I talked with my advisor. We ended up we're dropping that class, but I already ordered the textbook anyway because I just want to read it myself. Because the class just sounded so interesting,
Yeah.
but for my degree, like it made more sense to take the other class.
Yeah.
So, but I really wanted to learn from this class, so I'm just gonna read the textbook myself. I'm such a nerd.
You know what? It's okay, because the thing is the bottom line is learning is a great thing.
Absolutely.
If you're not progressing, you're just not doing anything.
Absolutely.
And it's awesome to see that, because not many people will do that. Most people will be like, I have to take this class. I'm just gonna go in, get a grade, and leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna take the time to like learn.
Yeah, I mean, you have the throwaway classes, but there are some that you definitely should take notes on, that are really good notes that you refer back to and that you keep. Like I've kept notes from high school. I know. I still have my government notes, my psychology notes, and the notes from the family consumer science class that we learned how to
FCS.
Yup. Like the last one I took where we talked about like banking and investments and everything, and like how to balance this, that, and the other thing, whatever. So I kept all that because I figured that would be important.
Yeah.
I was actually referencing that the other day when I was looking into Roth IRAs. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, dude. There's a bunch of stuff you can learn online. Like honestly,
Yeah.
it's gonna sound really stupid, but Reddit.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I just hear like the stupid little.
You could also talk to Gavin. Like,
Am I the asshole stories?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, like you can why don't you just talk to Gavin? Gavin, he's insanely
Honestly, whenever
smart.
I'm on the phone with him, I feel like I learn something new.
Yeah, dude. He's a plethora of
Oh, absolutely.
useless knowledge and amazing knowledge. But a lot of the time, I would say like 80% of the time, it's useful now. Like he does this for a living. Like he's a banker.
Yeah.
And a teller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you should talk to him.
I mean, there's a great benefit to either learning in the field or learning from books and everything. Like, I don't know why, but there's like these Army basic training videos, like following these Army classes on my TikTok right now. I have no idea why, but I've been seeing like how they're being taught in the field and how they like learn so much. And I was like, like if they put me in the field, I'd have no idea what I'm doing. So to be honest, like there's a lot of benefit to learning in the field. Of course, they have like their literature that they read and stuff, but they're literally out there with a compass and a pencil, and they're like, all right, find it. And they just learn how to. Like, that's a great piece of knowledge that I don't feel like a lot of people would be able to.
No.
We'd be able to keep and use effectively.
Yeah.
And then, there's people that learn from books and everything, especially now that they're banning books, so.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing, dude, and people love learning from books. People love learning from like things, but I still feel the best way that I learn is through people. Yeah. Like the things you've shown me, you've taught me, things like that, things like Gab, like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Those are the best 3 ways to learn: is books, experience, and people.
I would agree.
I think that's just awesome.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But Mr. K, we are running up on an hour now.
Again.
Dude, I'm telling you. It goes fast.
Time flies.
Dude, I'm telling you, every time I do these, every single time I look, just so I can, I truly only look, not as much of the time, but just to like see like the voice pattern, make sure everything's like level and good. Yeah. And then like I'll peer back, I'm like, God, fuck, there's no way. The constable over at Norristown sat right in that seat last week, and
I saw that video on your YouTube.
Yeah, he was like, dude, it was an hour. I'm like, dude, I wasn't even paying attention. Because I don't really have a producer. So, like, I have to make sure everything's fine as I'm kind of going through. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's like every time. I only ask people on here that I think are going to be awesome, great conversations.
Well, thank you.
So, hey, it's not a compliment. Hey. Sorry. But this okay, it was awesome. And I know you were all worried, like, what were we going to talk about? I'm like, dude, I got that handled. Just show up and have a good time. That's all cool. But, yeah, dude, you're great. Guys, if you want to get in touch with her for anything, your Instagram is
Kayla STX.
Kayla STX. And her Finsta
No, we're not doing that. Nope, not again.
Is that thing still up?
I need to kill that.
No, you can't. You can't.
Is yours still up?
Laporte on me? No.
That name should be archived.
I think I deleted it. I forget why.
I'm going to get you a plaque with that name on it.
Please don't.
I will.
If you do, I'll put it up here.
Good. I will.
But guys, she is amazing. She's awesome. She'll obviously be on again soon. She is leaving soon, so I don't know if I'll be able to steal her. But when she's back, trust me, I will absolutely steal her. Oh, we could do a Christmas special. Yeah. I think I'm coming up on a year on this podcast. Aww. Yeah, I don't know. I have to look.
Happy anniversary.
Well, not yet. Not yet. Well, not a happy anniversary yet. But it is great.
Isn't that October? Right? September, October? I can't remember that.
I have to check. I forget when I started because I remember when I started this. I started 2 weeks later than I was trying to because I wanted to have everything like good.
Hmm.
But regardless, Miss Kay, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And I will see you at work. Well, not today, but
Tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Sick.
All right.